Okay, we're going to start this one off with Donald Trump taking some questions on Putin and the Ukraine war. Uh, they asking him about the any concessions that he's trying to get Vladimir Putin to give, and you're not going to believe his answer. I mean, this guy is really not up to the job. I mean, he's being bullied. He knows the world knows that he's being bullied, and he really has nothing to say. Let's listen to what he got to say on this one.
Concession. Security team, what concessions has Russia offered up thus far to get to the point where you're closer to peace?
Stopping the war, stopping taking the whole country. Pretty big concession.
If he thinks that this is going to work with Vladimir Putin, uh, we can sell him a bridge. Yeah, he'd probably be really easy to sell a bridge to. Vladimir Putin whole way about this war has been to take land, take land, and take land, and possibly move on to the next country. Donald Trump sent out a tweet or a truth or whatever you want to call it to Vladimir Putin, telling him to stop, like he's a 3-year-old child. Vladimir Putin and the rest of the world are laughing in this guy's face. He's on the world stage now, and he's being made an ass of. I wouldn't be surprised if next we'll have North Korea and Iran starting to move on him like a you know what. But I just wanted to mention that in this one, and we'll move on to the next topic real quick. Let's go. This is going to be Ben Meiselas in an interview with Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. Let's see what these guys are talking about here. Let's go.
I'm joined by California Governor Gavin Newsom. Governor, when you and I last spoke, it was the day after Donald Trump announced his tariffs against the world. You warned everyone how dangerous and harmful it was going to be. 3 weeks later, what's your reaction?
Well, I mean, 10x worse than we even feared, and we were pretty sober when we got together the day after "quote unquote" Liberation Day. But we've seen what's happened to the world economy. The coin of the realm is trust, and how we have eroded trust around the globe. How this is going to take, I think, years and years and years to unwind, despite what Donald Trump believes and how the markets are behaving as they zig and zag. And as you know, since then, California, the largest state in our union size of 21 state populations combined, now the fourth largest economy in the world based on IMF figures that just came out, International Monetary Fund figures yesterday. No state has been more impacted by the tariffs economically. And as a consequence, we're the first state to sue the Trump administration, and we're damn confident that we're going to win that lawsuit.
Tell us about that lawsuit, Governor. How important is it?
Well, it's critical. I mean, he has no unilateral authority to impose these tariffs. And interestingly, the Koch brothers backed a lawsuit saying exactly the same thing. So look at the ideological prism here. A big blue state, and a progressive governor, and some of the most conservative, quote unquote, leaders in this country representing the same point of view. And you may have seen just in the last 24 hours, 12 states attorney generals just joined and are also suing the Trump administration, making exactly the same claim. And it's interesting, final point on that, the Trump administration is trying to change the jurisdiction for our case and our suit, which is just another example of how concerned I think they are. And again, any legal scholar looks at this, it seems pretty black and white. He simply cannot assert the authority he has under this 1977 construct to unilaterally advance tariffs. So we think we are in a very good and solid position.
Yeah, you have all of these states, along with Gavin Newsom in California, suing him. You got the rest of the world that's stepping up to show strength against him, especially China, but the European Union. You have Canada, you have Mexico. All of these countries are standing up to this man this time because they know he's weak. They know he's bluffing. We are going to see what's going to become of this dumb tariff war that Donald Trump has put in place. And we're going to have our prices going up. We're going to probably be having some empty shelves soon. That's what those CEOs of different companies that met with him the other day. I think it was Target CEO, Amazon, and one or two other ones. But Donald Trump is in over his head when it comes to these tariffs, and it's a doggone shame that these people around him, especially the Republican Party, is allowing this man to run rampant the way he is. They gave him that emergency power, I think, back in 2019 or 20 with COVID, and he's doing everything under emergency power. This is how he's able to unilaterally slap these tariffs on the rest of the world. That's supposed to be going through Congress. He's not supposed to be able to do that on his own. The Republicans are so weak, they're weaker than him. And this is why we're in the shoes that we're in right now with this weak president. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. It's going to be iHip Media. These ladies, they're talking about Russia and how he's being bullied by Russia. So let's listen up on to what they have to say.
Foreign policy is so embarrassing. It is unbelievable that this man thinks that he can manipulate Putin or she, and it's quite the contrary. This is his foreign policy. This is what he did this morning on what he calls Truth Social, what we call Lie Social. Kylie put this up. I am not happy with the Russian strikes on Kyiv. Not necessary and very bad timing. Vladimir, stop. 5,000 soldiers a week are dying. Let's get the peace deal done. Okay, number one, Vladimir Putin is not on Truth Social.
Right.
Okay, number two, this is not diplomacy. No. This is him trying to play like he's a strong man to his base because he is getting dog walked by Putin, because he's compromised by Putin.
Well, and he's getting dog walked by Xi too. But let's just be very clear. Vladimir Putin will see this and he will laugh his ass off. Like, this guy is so stupid. I'm never going to do what he wants me to do because I don't have to. And this is an embarrassment to the United States of America.
So, to your point, let me show you how Russian papers are covering Trump's foreign policy regarding the Ukraine-Russian war. Kylie put this up. Russia's government paper, quote, "It's practically a foregone conclusion the U.S. will pull out of Ukraine talks." Another Russian paper, "The unity of the West is gone. Geopolitically, it's no longer an alliance. Trumpism has destroyed the Atlantic consensus confidently and quickly."
This is what Vladimir Putin has been wanting all of his adult life, for the West to be dismantled. They had the eye on Donald Trump decades ago to be the one that'll do it from within. Look where we are now. It's happening, and it's pretty pathetic. Going to move on to Nicole Wallace, and she's talking about Trump's poll numbers, and we'll see what she has to say here.
Today, reality bites Donald Trump in the you-know-where. If the price of eggs propelled Donald Trump to victory in November, then his man-made economic instability, which has rattled markets and ushered in unease for American consumers, may very well be his political undoing. A wave of new polls show that both Donald Trump's approval ratings and voters' opinions of his handling of the economy are today in free fall. The New York Times average of polls shows this, quote, "Trump's approval rating has sunk to about 45%. That's down from 52% 1 week after he took office. Voters' views of his handling of the economy are even lower than his overall approval rating. A Fox News poll out last night puts his approval on the economy at 38%. As for his handling of inflation and tariffs, just 33% of Americans approve of that. And for the first time since the year 2001, a majority of Americans say their personal finances are getting worse. So, see, it turns out the more voters see of Donald Trump's man-made chaos, the less they like it. And there is a lot of chaos. As the New York Times reports on major economic decisions, Trump blinks and then blinks again. As we reported on this show yesterday, Donald Trump threatened to fire Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, then changed his mind and backed off that threat. After slapping so-called reciprocal tariffs on every country and every island in the world, even those inhabited only by penguins, He reversed himself on that and announced a pause on those too. As for China, which is subject to a 145% tariff, Trump says, well, now they're negotiating. Watch.
We are going to have a fair deal with China. It's going to be fair.
Are you talking to them actively now?
Actively. Everything's active. Everybody wants to be a part of what we're doing.
The Chinese government says no, not active. Quote, China and the U.S. have not engaged in any consultations or negotiations regarding tariffs, let alone reached an agreement, end quote. Adding that while China is open to talks, quote, if it's a fight, we will fight till the end. Confronted with China pouring cold water on Donald Trump's version of reality, Trump said this.
A question on China. Can you clarify with whom the U.S. is speaking with China? They're saying it's fake news that trade talks are happening.
Well, they had a meeting this morning, so I can't tell you. It doesn't matter who they is.
They just...
Of course you can't tell us, because you're pranking yourself on the world stage. China is not worried about you whatsoever. They know that you don't have any gall to go forward with anything. You don't know what you're doing. It's sad that you must have some people around you that cannot pull you back from that cliff that you're on with these tariffs. Maybe they are trying to do it, but you're such a narcissist that you cannot understand what they're trying to tell you. So continue on making yourself look like a fool. I hate that our country have to go through it along with you, but you are pranking yourself. You're negotiating with yourself on international stage. Donald Trump is the biggest fool on the planet right now. We all knew he was, but now he's proving it to us once again. Okay, guys, I'm going to end it right here, and I'll see you on the next one. See you guys.
I ask you guys to like and subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you.